As if all of our problems couldn't be traced back to the elites, imperialism, hierarchy, capitalism, and all those nasty things. Yet another corner of their creeping influence strikes at the very heart of our way of learning. Education in America is built to prepare you for the job market, which I guess means learning algebra and geography, but doesn't mean learning how to do your finances or learning how government involvement is involved with occupations, but I guess that's just not the point right now. The collegiate institutions specifically aim to acquire as much money as possible out of its students in order to bolster their budgets, while also seeking taxpayer funded grants from the government. These institutions give students a general and very mid quality understanding of some things in the world. As long as collegiate institutions function to prepare students for exploitative jobs, as long as our livelihoods are prioritized to maximize profit, then there is no incentive for struggling people to pursue degrees which can't guarantee those people a stable and high quality job so they can live a decent life. This consequence, due to the bourgeoisie, kills all things which capitalism cannot maximize profit, from arts to music to history to science. The extent to which meaningful education does occur in college and universities in America is merely a happenstance overlap, one of which marketplace utility can be extrapolated because education is not the primary motivation of our schools, even if we say it is. The solemn goal for education is a futile construct in the face of, for example, a school having to close because they do not have sufficient funds to keep running anymore, let alone how many schools use fundraisers and other such events as or even uniforms, like in private schools, which also introduce more resources to the budget of the institution, which is its primary lifeblood. No building can run without repairs. No teacher can teach without getting paid or without volunteering slash sacrificing their time, etc., etc. The idea of teaching and learning and education means nothing without the resources and without the material conditions necessary. In other words, while of course educating kids is the goal, any school cannot run without the money to do so, plain and simple. This fundamental point about how we live, how almost, if not all, our interactions with our society require, for some reason, monetary exchange, of course extends to become the most pressing problem with our schooling institutions. There are so many flaws with the education system in the West, and especially in America, and the tolerance of such flaws all amount to what? Because as far as I can see, many people who have acquired finished college degrees are still having a hard time finding a good job, or even any job at all. The lifespan of a skill viability in capitalism's markets is not consistent enough, does not extend long enough to warrant dedicating thousands of dollars, hundreds of hours of your time for a mere chance that you might acquire your degree. Because let's not forget a rather undersold and highly undermentioned huge issue with colleges and universities. It's not even guaranteed when you pay for it, even for how much it costs. Imagine if you went to get your car fixed at a mechanic, but they only fixed your car if you passed a test, if you knew how to fix it. And if you didn't pass the test, they would still take your money and not fix your car. How would that not be the dumbest thing you've ever heard? How would you not be outraged to deal with such a thing, being almost ready to fight the person who did that to you, and yet, or said that to you, and yet that is the literal relationship present within the near entirety of American colleges and universities, and also exists as well at the primary and middle school institutions, as we call them in America. Modern advanced education in America is indescribable without socially enabled necessity and wild costs, and somehow is also the route any citizen is supposed to take for a higher standard of living. This is insanity. This is madness. What we believe to be just another component of modern law and order, what we believe to be just another instance of or interaction of modern education, I'll say that one more time. What we believe to be just another instance or interaction of modern education is principally built, perpetuated, and justified by the operation of monetary or profit-based support. And of course, one of the worst parts about all of this is how pedagogy and knowledge and even cultivating an organic curiosity within children are weakened and sacrificed, all in the name of making money for people who aren't contributing to the education within the institutions themselves. This needs to change. We're capable of subsidizing these things, of building a more nationalized but still diversified and vast education system with all kinds of benefits. We can have shorter school days, better teacher pay, higher quality technological integration, and expansion in resources for all kinds of departments. We can include more field trips and ventures to the actual real world, accompanied by well-secured resources of protection for the students when they do travel, so the little ones can have a little more interactive and tangible presence with existence, possibly being lost with the rising digitization of the world. We can vouch and pursue higher standards for ourselves and each other, while also including more patience and time for those who need it, giving resources to those with different language backgrounds or certain physiological conditions like deafness or speaking issues, getting in the way of every single human being's right to an education. And perhaps that's even more of an important issue here. Recognizing that everyone does deserve the chance to learn, and to have that learning protected and covered, not to thrust yet another responsibility on the average person in this huge imperial world. There is a time when we have to start asking ourselves if we want more, if we're capable of more, if we're capable of better. We never needed to submit to these conditions, and we are absolutely within our rights to stand together, to work together, to fight together, and to change this atrocity we think we have to accept. Enough is enough. There is a time for change, and that time is now, and there's no reason to continue letting the quality of the world deteriorate, while those who do virtually nothing take everything from those who strive every single day, always doing something for better, trying to make things better, just for the sake of having better. This is the legacy of humankind. Not greed, not self-interest, not toxic competition, not stagnation, not justification of the status quo, but a revolutionary commitment to change every single day, to feel or think something new, to protect their loved ones and to nurture them too, to bring food to their tables, to bring stability to their homes, to bring joy to their lives, to revive and connect all of our communities on a colossal scale. To what extent is this goal truly not achievable? Is it really utopian to believe this goal is unattainable? But as I've said before, how is it instead not the very idea of our destiny? How do we not all agree that us coming together and working together the hardest we can, with, of course, imperfections along the way, is the natural fate of a healthy humankind? There is no longer a question. It is now time to begin to change. The despairs and doubts I hear and see and read from many people that revolution is impossible today exists only so insofar as any one person's specific conceptualized idea of a revolution is impossible. Excuse me. Maybe revolution isn't what we think it should have been, or maybe it isn't exclusively about doing it in the ways we've observed in the past. The revolution isn't defined exclusively by the working class retaking the means of production. It has the prerequisite of a unified working class, the precursor to a world with lively unity, in order to achieve that real goal. And while division and pain and hurting and suffering and misery and poverty and deterioration are all present and in many ways still growing, we are also getting stronger than ever. We are more knowledgeable, resourceful, and informed than we have ever been. We all have felt a true call to heal our own pain, to experience and solve generational pain, and we can facilitate that healing on a mass community level to alleviate so many of our issues. Of course, there's ample misinformation out there, but it's quite easy these days to disprove these lies with other reasonably trustworthy resources at one's disposal. So what are we waiting for? I'm tired of fighting each other, and I know you are too, and I know we're a lot more on the same page than what it may seem. So let's just try. Let's try and work together and meet up and talk it out and discuss our ideas and collaborate to build something better. You'd be surprised how far we'd go. Thank you for watching this one. I hope you're doing well. Let me know what you think in the comments, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace, love, and in solidarity, comrades. Thank you.